I am Darth Draconis, Sith Practitioner, and this is my Holocron, made to serve a multitude of purposes. I was brought up as a Christian family, with the exception of my atheist father. But I never had faith in the religion I was taught. So, I was never a Christian, merely a practitioner. Faith is one of the few things I am unable to process. Its very definition is distasteful to me. An unquestionable belief, trust in a person, entity, or ideal. I can comprehend the ideal of faith, but it took some time for me to grasp how a person can have faith. Around the age of 10, I began resenting my family's belief in the concept of the omnipotent God. At that age, I was a very logical person, and extremely critical. The logical behavior I displayed at that age has only grown and evolved. I am now a calculating, analytical Sith with a desire for control over myself. As a result, I began experimenting with magical practices, Wicca, and witchcraft. This was my first experimentation with the Force. I understand magic as simply another name for the Force. Magic and the Force are one and the same. But magic focuses on the energies of plants, trees, air, etc., and concentrates on spells and rituals to focus the energy for the desired outcome of a magical working. It is one of the many aspects of the Force, and it isn't something that interests me any longer. As many people know, Wiccans worship many deities. I accepted this for a time, but I soon rejected these gods as nothing more than powerful spirits that were able to be noticed for a short time after their deaths, then worshipped as gods. I believe that after death, there is a possibility of keeping our spirits, souls intact, or our personal force energy, the life force, will disperse and be dissolved back into the Force. I then abandoned the magical practices and began to take an interest in the Star Wars mythos. I was still 10 when I began working the path of the Jedi, so I wanted to use the power I was now aware of for good. I lived by the morals implemented into my very skull during childhood that my grandmother lived by. But only months after I started training myself as a Jedi did I realize that the Jedi ways were pure weakness in and of themselves. I was kind, caring, loyal, trusting, even compassionate, and as a result, I was often taken advantage of. I then began to change, and so I sought alternate paths. I attempted to live as a Shadow Jedi, but I found there are ways to be unstructured after only 1 to 2 months. That is when I decided that I would try to bring the evil. As a Jedi, I believed the Sith to be the opposite of what I was once. And I believe the Sith to be evil. So I began to the dreaded path of darkness. I was a malevolent at all times, and I sadistically enjoyed this way. But almost 3 months of being a Sith had taught me something. What it really means to be a Sith. The Sith are not evil. We are just considered evil because we are dark beings. But in abandoning morality, which may be considered evil as well, I got the idea that there was no true good or evil. I haven't really decided. This ideal is still logical to me though. So, since approximately the age of 12, I have been a Sith, and will remain a Sith for as long as I exist.